In today's tutorial, we will look at another topic specific to Node.js. We're going to look at the Event Emitter, a default module available in Node that allows us to create custom events. Welcome to another tutorial from All Things JavaScript, where we help bridge the gap between novice and expert. Using custom events in your code can lend itself to a great pattern for asynchronously responding to something that has happened in your code. This can be done with vanilla JavaScript using custom event. I talked about this in the last tutorial and will provide a link in the description if you'd like to visit that tutorial. The idea behind creating a custom event is that you want to respond in several ways to something that happens in your code, but you don't want all that code in a single function, the same place. The Event Emitter in Node allows us to do that. Let's first take a look at the Event Emitter. Now, the Event Emitter is a default module available in Node. So once you have Node, you have access to this module. And to learn how to use some of these default modules, you can use the Node documentation. So here I am on Node.js.org, and I can simply go to the Docs tab. And then I'll choose the version. And then here is a list of some of the things we can learn about in Node. And many of these are default modules. I can click on Events, which is where I'd want to go to learn about the Event Emitter. And you can see all the different topics. And then you can see the class that's described here. And we're going to be using some of these things in our sample event that we're going to create. So here's where you could go to learn more about a default module in Node. Specifically, the one we're looking at is the event module. Okay, now let's go ahead and set up an example so you can see how this would be used. So I'm going to jump to Sublime. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to make the event module accessible to us in our file. And we use require to do that. Just like we have talked in previous tutorials on Node, require allows us to take advantage of modules. So I'm going to set up a variable. And I'm going to set that equal to require. Now notice, because this is a default module, I don't have to specify a path. And it will go ahead and find that module for me. So now I have the event module a part of my file. I'm going to set up a new emitter. And it's an emitter that we use to do all of these custom events with. So let's go ahead and set that up. Equals new emitter. And this is a constructor, so I use the word new to create this emitter. Now, the idea, what we're going to do in this sample is we're going to pretend that this particular application creates new users at certain points. And whenever a new user is created, we want to do multiple things with it. But we want it separated or in different parts of the code. And we want to respond to a new user being created asynchronously. And so whenever a new user is created, let's say that this particular function is called add new user. So let me just set that up. And so it does some stuff. It sets up a user, basically what it does. And then the last thing it does is it emits an event. And we're going to call this event new user. So that is the event that will get sent. And it will get sent to this particular JavaScript file. And so anywhere inside this file, I can respond to this event. Anytime that event is fired, I can respond to it and do something with it. So now, just so that we know that a new user is going to be added and this function is going to be called, let's go ahead and call that down here. All right. So this is going to cause a new user to be set up. It's then going to emit the new user event, and then in other places within this code we could respond to that. So let me set up a few of those just to see how that would be done. So once again, I use the same EMT variable. Just as I use to emit the event, I'm going to use that to respond to the event. And I can use .on to respond to that event. And then I enter the text that identifies the event I'm responding to. So in this case, it is new user. And then we enter the function we want to be invoked when this event occurs. Now I'm going to enter an anonymous function. So I'll set it up this way. Now what am I going to do? Well, we'll just do a console log statement to indicate that this is the code that we're executing when we respond to this event. And this one's going to be set up user. That's what we'll do here. Now let's set up another one. We'll respond to the event with another event listener. New user, once again, is the event. Obviously, I could set up more than a single event. I could emit different events and respond to those. And in this one, let's say we are activating the user. So we'll just log that in the console to indicate that that's what we did. Then finally, I'm going to use a different way to respond to the event. So up to this point, I've been using on. That allows us to indicate that we want to respond to an event. Well, there's something else we can use as well. We can use add listener. So in vanilla JavaScript, you use add event listener. This is actually add listener. And we use the same event text to identify the event we want to respond to, and then also we indicate a function that will be invoked. And for this one, let's say we're going to notify the user. That they've been added. All right, so we have 3 different event listeners set up. And within these 3 different event listeners, we could be doing different things with the user. And that's what we're simulating here. So whenever this is called, whenever this function is called and a new user is created, at the very end of it, we always emit this event, and it causes anywhere else in this code to respond to that event. So we got that set up. Let's go ahead and save that, and let's check this out. So here in the console, I'm going to go ahead and run that JavaScript file. Oh, wrong name. There we go. And notice we get the console log statement. Set up user, activate user, notify user. So every one of them responded to that event which was emitted down here. Now obviously if we would have entered the wrong text string, it would not work. Just like happens with any event that you set up a listener to. You have to have the correct text string in order for that event to fire. So that is how you would use the event emitter in Node. And it's a great way to help you structure your code. Now, before we're done here, please hit the like button. If you would like to become a patron of this channel, I would appreciate the support. You can follow a link in the description, and you can also contribute by visiting my website. If you want to dive deeply into JavaScript, I've provided discount links to all my courses in the description section. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit that button or click the circle link on the left, the one with my face. I release a new tutorial each week. You can also click the video link in the center to access another tutorial right away, or click the link on the right to visit my website, allthingsjavascript.com, for a complete list of tutorials and other resources. Thanks for watching.